Had a subscriber contact me about a 502 stove that he needed repaired, and just got it in the mail today. So I made a video on the 502 a while back ago. I had some complaints because I showed more of the back of my head in the reassembly than I did reassembling it. I do apologize for that. It's just kind of hard to work on these things under a camera, but I'm going to try to get a better angle on this time, and I'm going to go through this, a complete tear down, clean it inside out, and see if we can't get this thing burning again. Okay, in the background y'all can hear the hiss. Got my hiss therapy going on here and making a little coffee at the same time. Okay, he mentioned that the tip cleaner wasn't working properly. Never seen one do that. It turns halfway. Both of my other ones will spin all the way around. I've never seen one do this. So I'm not sure if the tip is stopped up, not allowing that needle to go out, or what the deal is. But we'll figure it out. And another thing I did notice, I tried pumping it up, and check valve is stuck. I can hear air hissing back out through the pump when I pump it up. So it's definitely going to need a check valve cleaning. And so we'll take this apart, we'll clean the check valve, we'll take that generator apart and clean it, and see if we can figure out what's going on with that tip cleaner. And we'll take the fuel pickup tube out and give that a good bath, and see if we can clean it up and make sure she's picking up the proper amount of fuel in there. First thing I want to do, I want to take these 3 screws out of the top to get that grate off. By the way, this grate is a little bent in right here. I don't know if it was already like that or if that happened in shipping. I was sitting on the couch earlier when this came in, and got a full view glass storm door, and I seen a box come flying through the air and bounce across my porch, and this thing wasn't packed really well. So I don't know if it landed on that grate and bent it, if it landed upside down and bent it, or if it's already like that. But either way, I'm going to try to heat that up and straighten that back out. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, take a 7/16 wrench. I'm going to loosen up this fuel line that goes up to the generator. Okay, so I'm going to take a little heat. Okay, above that gas line fitting there is a 1/2 inch nut that secures the gas line and the valve to the frame there. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch wrench on that just to hold that steady while I try to break this so that it doesn't bend anything. Like somebody has had some type of Loctite or something on those threads. I don't know why that was not necessary, but it's a dark color, but they were glued on there is why I had to use that heat. Shouldn't have had to use that heat. Okay, now I should be able to gently pull this fuel line down. Just bend it down just a little bit, not very far, just to get it out of the way. Okay, now that that fuel line is loose, I'll take the 1/2 inch wrench, grab that top nut again that's holding that, See if I can turn it loose. There we go. Simple enough. Now this whole assembly should slide right out. There's a close-up. There's whatever they had gluing these threads on. You can see it really good there. Black, some kind of goo. Probably a plumber's gas fitting sealer or something. Okay, I can see the needle sticking out of the tip of that generator. And I'm turning the lever back here and it is not moving, so there's definitely something going on in there. Let's see if we can get this thing apart and see what's going on. Take the 7/16 again. That turned loose really easy. But Teflon tape didn't help a bit on that. And you can see the generator, the hook should have been inside this hole on the eccentric block, and it's jammed up inside the generator, so it wasn't even on there, so that's why it was bottoming out and not working. Let's see if we can fish that thing out of there. Okay, I've been putting my steel parts in a magnetic tray, but these parts here are brass, so I'm going to throw these in a bucket. Just going to pull this generator nut off here. And somebody has wrapped some kind of a cordage around that to try to snug it down or something. Never seen that before. Alright, see if we can hopefully, yeah, just take that pick, just pulling right out of there. Okay, that tip is a little bent. It's no problem, we can straighten that out. Take these needle nose pliers. Gently grab that, and I mean really gently. Keep turning it. Spinning that in my fingers. I think we got it. Okay, wish me luck here. Let's see if that spring come out as simple as that needle did. No, didn't think so. Alright, we're going to have to heat and quench. I'm going to start by removing the tip off of this. These generally turn off pretty easy. I just grabbed the tip of it. Don't have a wrench that small, at least I don't think I do. Well, I may have, but I'm just not going to try to dig it out because these needle nose pliers work just as well. I'm going to drop it down in my parts bucket. Okay, I'm just going to hold this generator with the power pliers. I'm going to take a torch. I'm going to heat this up red hot, drop it in the water to quench it, pull it out, and repeat multiple times until I can get that spring freed up in there and I can pull it out. Okay, we've heated and quenched this, heated and quenched it multiple times. And hopefully, just thread that hook right up inside the center of that spring until it won't thread no more. That little way out, she's moving. There you go. Put her wet in her bucket. Okay, if y'all can hear me over top of this thunderstorm, I got 3 screws in the top of this burner plate I'm going to take out. I'm going to take a Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to set that down in there firmly. And take one hand and mash down really hard with that. mash down with my other hand on the top and twist that out. Keep as much pressure on those as I can. Okay, there are several of these burner rings. Some are crinkled, some are flat, or crinkled less, some are crinkled more, but they got to go back in that order. But to save myself some trouble, I'll put a piece of wire through there. Just going to wire those all together. That way they won't come out of order. They're going to stay the way they need to be. So they'll go right back on the same way. I'm going to spray some WD-40 down in this burner ring. Let that set a little bit. See if that'll penetrate them threads a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to turn that burner plate out. By the way, I rinsed out this font before I started on this because I knew I'd be using torch. So I mean, there's no fuel in it, and I rinsed it out. Well, because better safe than sorry. Alright, got a big pair of channel locks. Just might work. That is still hot, let me tell you. Hey, there she goes. Okay, now that burner bowl, lift up on one side and just pull it back from that mixing chamber. Just lift it straight out. Now we got 3 screws again. Do the same way I did the burner screws. Put the screwdriver in there. I'm going to mash down on the top of the screwdriver with one hand, turn it out with the other. Okay, now this plate should lift right off here. Mixing chamber. There's the collar and the burner plate. Okay, you've seen that's full of cobwebs. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to grab a spring. Just going to work it through there. Sure we have no obstacles. Don't want no cobwebs, mud daubers. Alright, that should be good to go. Okay, time to remove the valve. This is the only spot on the Coleman product that should have that sealer, is this valve right here. And you can see the red sealer around the threads there. So here I don't want to use a big torch because I don't want to torch the paint. I'm going to use this micro torch where I can have a little more control of the flame and just try to heat that bung. Okay, I've got this deep well socket. Stick a grinder and ground a slot in it. Put this piece of leather in it to protect my brass. Hopefully we can turn that out. Don't forget to take off your valve yet. Put that screw right back in there so I don't lose it. Okay, I'm going to give it a 5/16 wrench. Turn that fuel pickup tube off there. Well, that thing looks brand new. This hasn't been used much. The inside of this is real clean. The inside of it found no rust in it. Anyway, pulled the little pricker rod out of there. I was going to give that spring a little stretch. Not much. Just going to stretch a little life back into it. That looks brand new. It looks like it's ever been used. I'm going to throw that in my parts bucket to boil, along with the complete valve assembly. Alright, next step, I'm going to remove the pump with this small screwdriver. It's going to put in behind that clip, twist it, pry it out. Pull it out and turn that pump counterclockwise to unthread the stem. Grabbing the collar of it there, I'm just pulling it straight out. Pump leather looks in good shape other than being a little greasy. Clean some of that grease off there. I sprayed that with WD-40, worked it in, and took my air compressor and blew all the gunk out of it. And I got some neat's foot oil. So we got a pump leather soaking in there right now. Just gonna let that soak until we're ready to put it back together in that neat's foot oil. Okay, we can thread out our air stem now. Take this carburetor cleaner. Oh, squirt that full and let it soak. Get some of that grease out of there. Okay, I got this 12 gauge cleaning brush. An old military cleaning rod for a pistol. Stick that in there. That's perfect for cleaning these out. Yeah, look at all that crud coming out of there. Okay, next step is to remove the check valve. Okay, check valve is pretty nasty. Looks like somebody's been using grease in that instead of oil, instead of the neat's foot oil. It's like a heavyweight grease. And check valve is completely frozen up. It's not rattling a bit. So we're going to take this carburetor cleaner, stick all the way in there. Turn around, hit from the other side. The last step for the complete disassembly. It's a 3-piece fuel cap. I want to remove that old gasket and put a new gasket in it. Tighten that completely down as tight as I can get it by hand, and then take the screwdriver, turn the screw out. Remove the cap. Remove the brass piece. There's the old gasket. I'm going to burn out this old gasket. I'm just going to take this pick and dig that old gasket out of there. Okay, we're going to call that the end of part 1. It's completely disassembled. That's all the disassembly you can do. And it's going to be a nice little stove when we get done with it. And tomorrow we'll come back and boil the parts in vinegar and clean this fountain up pretty good and best we can. Clean it up, put some mother's mag, polish it, and see if we can fire this thing back up. Alright, y'all know the routine. Like, share, subscribe. God bless.